Alberta Theatre Projects is getting into the holiday swing. Our Craig Larkins is checking out their new show, and you have a costume that's involved in the next segment, Craig?
Yes, I'm very excited. Coming up later in the show, at some point, there's a little nose on one of the characters behind me. Those are the good guys, I should point out. I get to wear one of the noses, and then we're going to walk over to here. The villains in the show, Diane Goodman, not a villain in the show, though, from Alberta Theatre Projects. Sorry about that. Let's talk about where are we standing, because you guys are saying you only decorate the lobby for the holiday show, correct?
Right. So we're in the lobby of the Martha Cohen Theatre, home of Alberta Theatre Projects. Welcome. And every family holiday show season, we decorate the lobby thematically to the show. So this season, with Legend Has It, we have a couple of throne-like chairs, a dragon, some castle toys, monster toys for the kids to play with, and as you can see, the large posters behind us.
Which are very fun. So what is the show about? Legend Has It is the name of the show. What's it all about?
Well, it's, as people probably know, it's an improv show, but the basis is that there are a downtrodden people called the Mumplings, and they're very sweet, and they...
The Mumplings. It's cute.
Mumplings. And they are being persecuted by the evil warlord Haldor. So the world of Jarrow, in which they live, needs a hero to save them from the evil warlord, and that's where an audience member comes in.
So someone who comes to the show is sitting in the audience, kind of runs the show, is what you're saying. Essentially.
They are the focal character in the play, yeah. So before the show, the actors come out, mingle in the lobby, and talk to potential heroes.
So what are you looking for when you guys are out here in the lobby looking for a hero? Just someone at home is wondering.
Well, as Rebecca Northern, the creator, and her team say, they're looking for someone that puts out some energy. They're not looking for an actor or someone who's an aspiring actor. They're looking for someone who can kind of react honestly and authentically, but has an outgoing energy.
And what I love about that is that would make the show different each night, correct, essentially?
Oh, it is so different. And often they choose young people. You know, during previews, we had a 12-year-old girl who was amazing. Opening night, we had a 40-year-old electrician, Phil, and he was fabulous. So
Phil the electrician, I love it.
Electrician. And his wife and kids were here, and they just had a great time watching Dad save the world.
Save the world. We're going to actually head inside the theater, going to meet some of the cast, the director of the show, and have some fun, and maybe I will play the role of hero. Do I get to do that?
I think you have that kind of energy, Craig.
Back to you, Ted and Jill.
Hero with a nose,
What a
though.
great idea.
Hero with a nose, apparently, Craig Larkins this morning.
That would be very entertaining,
Yeah.
and if anyone can pull that up, it is Rebecca Northern. She's so talented over at Alberta Theatre Projects.
Yes, thank you, Ted and Jill. And we're hanging out with the director, cast member, and co-creator of the show, Rebecca Northern. So the show does have somewhat of a history. It's not the first run at the theater, correct?
No, actually, we started developing the show at the Loose Moose Theatre Company probably about 2 years ago. We did 2 workshops there, and then we moved the show to the Playwrights Festival in 2014, and we did so well at Playwrights that they invited us back as the family show.
That's because it sounds like it is overall the funnest show I've heard of so far. Spontaneous is the word to describe it. So as a director, does that scare you? Because that word in itself scares me.
Well, the cast is made up of 5 plus a sound improviser of some of the country's best improvisers. So we sorted out that between us we have about 110 years of improv experience. So for us, it's a spontaneous theater creation, which means it's equally structured and spontaneous. So we have a framework. We just don't know how the picture will get filled in every night. It's like a coloring book in that way.
So yeah, I was going to say, when you put your cast member hat on, you don't know which role you're playing until the hero is picked, right?
Yeah, so we mingle in the lobby before the show every night, and we find somebody appropriate. They don't know they're picked until they hear their name. And once they come up on stage, their first order of business is to choose who they want as their sidekick and who they want as their villain out of the cast.
So who have you played so far, and your favorite so far, would you say? And who do you want to play?
Well, I keep getting cast as the sidekick. It's kind of equally split between Christy Bruce and I. And then my younger brother, no surprise, is consistently getting cast as the villain. Although Christy's done it once. Where
did the idea for the show come from when you were sitting down with your co-creators?
Well, originally I had pitched ATP a completely different idea, and the artistic director, Vanessa Porches, said, I'm not interested in that. She said, I'd like you to take what you learned in your other show, Blind Date, which is my one-woman show that I do with an audience member, should take what you've learned there and go further with it and come back and pitch me a new idea in a week. And I'm a huge fantasy fan and a bit of a nerd at heart. And so I came back and said, what do you think of this? And she said yes. So then I went to the cast and said, okay, this is what's happening. This is what we're going to do.
It sounds like a blast. We should point out they're also doing a special New Year's show, which probably a little more spontaneous, would you say?
Yeah, that'll be, we're guessing, quite an adult audience, which we're really looking forward to. And we're also inviting Calgary's cosplayers to come in costume, or even if you're not a cosplayer, if you've just sort of always in your heart wanted to try it out, New Year's Eve would be the time to do it.
Fun. So we're going to actually head behind the stage in our next segment, meet some of the cast members from the show. Back to you, Ted and Jill. Yes, thank you, Jill. We're hanging out. Alberta Theatre Projects holiday show. It is Legend Has It. I have found a cape. It is part of the show. It is very cool. I'm joined by a couple actors from the show. So normally I would ask the question, Chrissy Bruce and Jamie Northen, what your role is in the show, but you don't know till you show up. So how is that for an actor?
It's pretty great, actually. It's
I
good.
love it.
It's, yeah. It kind of keeps us on our toes, and then it keeps things varied. You know, it's not like you get into that rut of like, oh, here I go again.
So who have you played so far? And I guess do you get picked? You assign certainly one each show, or is it random? Kind of.
The audience member we choose gets to pick who they want as their sidekick and who they want as their villain. So I've done both.
Yeah, it's usually between the two of us for villain, and I get the villain vote most of the time.
Most of the time he gets the villain.
So far. Yeah, I'm evil looking, I guess.
Yeah.
It works out well.
How's the show been going so far?
Great, really amazing. We've met some really amazing audience members that have gone on epic journeys with us.
Yeah. We've had 11-year-olds to 40-year-old this run, but in the past we've had older. So it's really anybody can be a hero.
Do you have a favorite moment so far from one of the heroes, their story, or anything they've picked for you to do?
Ooh, favorite moment.
There's a lot already, and we've only been running for like a week. But one of the heroes, Gabby, stole everything in the castle and became like a hoarder and just like collected stuff. Had her arms full by the end of the show, and one of the objects she had was a rock that makes anybody fall in love with them. So she made the evil wizard Haldor fall in love with her as a way to defeat him.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Let's actually walk over here and check out some of, besides the cool cape that I'm wearing.
Oh yeah, which is awesome.
What do we got back here? So who are these people?
Secrets of the show.
This is actually a lavigator.
It's a lavigator. Is that scary?
It's like an alligator, but it swims in lava. So depending on where the hero decides to go in the castle, they may run into this guy.
This
Who
is
are you holding over there, Jamie?
This is Lickspittle, or at least his face.
It does not look friendly.
Is actually one of the most friendly goblins that you'll ever meet, played by Bruce Horak, typically. The audience fell in love with him last run, so we made sure we brought him back. The audience loves him, and butterflies love him. That's kind of his thing. Yeah.
The show runs till New Year's Eve. Are you guys excited for the New Year's Eve show? Because I heard it was going to be a little extra special.
I think so. Yeah. We're gonna have to scan the audience first and make sure what the age is, but we probably want to get a little more rowdy with it.
Yeah. When people are invited to come in full cosplay outfits.
Cosplay, yeah.
So we are going to have an armory in case people bring swords and weapons and such.
So you're encouraged to dress like myself right now and bring swords down and have some fun. Again, it runs till the 31st. Back to Ted and Jill. We are having fun down here. It's getting a little wacky. Behind the scenes of Legend Has It, Alberta Theatre Projects holiday show. Josh, Ellis, Bruce join me now. Cast members and sound
Improviser.
I keep saying impersonators. So let's talk about the improv side of the show. How's that going? Do you have to have a certain technique, or you just got to have it?
Oh, you got to keep breathing. Breathing is very important.
Each and every show, obviously.
I'm being serious. Like big, heavy, deep breaths out of the mouth, just like, oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Do you just kind of throw it away and just get into the moment and just go with it? Is that the?
Oh, 100%. It's all disposable.
So when they pick a hero from the crowd, what are you kind of just in anticipation of who they're going to pick and which character they're going to assign to, or?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that crosses your mind. Sure.
Yeah. Who have you played so far?
Goblin 1, Goblin 2.
Are they the bad guys?
Yes. Sometimes, most of the time.
Has anyone played a mumpling? Have you played a mumpling?
No.
How would you play a mumpling if I was the hero and I just assigned you a mumpling?
If I was to play the mumpling?
Yeah.
Well,
Give me a mumpling voice.
I would try to be a lot shorter and Scottish.
Because they're Scottish.
Yeah, they're Scottish, so I would put it in a Scottish accent real thick.
So, Ellis, you get to create some of the sounds for the show. How does that? You get a bird's eye view of it all. How is that from so far, the show so far for you?
It's it's pretty great. I was initially like kind of freaked out because I'd be so far away because that booth is like quite far off the ground. But we're allowed to have the window open, so I can hear people fine. There's no disconnect there, so usually it's pretty great. The only difficulty I have is figuring out when people are opening doors because I got to play the sound of a key unlocking a door. But apparently I've been nailing it, so no issue there.
Yeah, don't jinx it, man.
Don't jinx it. New Year's show. Are you guys ready for it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
Are you bringing anything different in? You're bringing your A game even more?
Yeah, I'm bringing my A+ game.
Head to breakfasttelevision.ca for more information on the show. It does run until New Year's Eve. The New Year's Eve show is supposed to be extra special. Back to you, Ted and Jill.
That does look like a lot of fun.
It does. Those guys are
How would
horsing
you
around
make
already.
a key opening a door sound?
I don't know.
I can